One of my favorite things about Esperanto is that even if I come across a new word that I don't know the specific meaning of, I always know how it is being used in a given sentence, and therefore I'll know how urgent it is to translate it. Because sometimes in a given sentence, every last adjective isn't super important. Does it matter if it was a bald guy who murdered that woman in the alleyway? No, it's more important to know who did what to whom. And we can get to the adverbs and the adjectives later. The only giveaway that we have like that in English is adverbs. Those almost always end in ly. He quickly did this. He slowly did that. He cautiously tried this. And the ly is very helpful for us to identify that, oh, that must be modifying a verb here. Otherwise, nouns and verbs and adjectives can end in any number of letters, and it's really not obvious what we're using a word for until we have the full context of the sentence. Whereas in Esperanto, we always know what every word is just by looking at how it ends. Super helpful. So for starters, let's look at how do we find nouns? Well, all nouns in Esperanto end in O. There's a handful of O words that aren't nouns, a couple of prepositions and interjections like ho, and oh my, that, ho, that technically ends in O and is not a noun. There's like less than 10 though. So other than that, if you see an O, you're looking at a noun. If you see on, you're looking at a noun being used in a certain way. If you see oj, that's a plural noun. That's the way to plural everything, by the way. Cat becomes cats. Ox becomes oxen. All that just by adding a J. Then, whereas in English, ox, oxen, child, children, fox, foxes, mouse becomes mice, goose becomes geese. There's a million different ways. Now, it's just add a J, you're looking at a plural noun. And then OJN would be a plural noun being used in a specific way. Super helpful. So, as you're looking at sentences, look for words that end in O, ON, OJ, OJN, and those are your nouns. Proper nouns are a little bit different because names sometimes get fully Esperantified and sometimes they don't. So that's treated a little bit differently, but common nouns, a broom, a lion, a tiger, those kind of things. If you see an O at the end, that's a word being used as a noun, whether you understand the meaning of it or not.